Hey everyone, have I here been a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be doing our full breakdown with some fun little team builds for the LR Carnival featured future Super Saiyan Gohan. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And of course, we start off with the card art. I do like the colors, the flair of the SSR and the TUR. The very kind of unusual pose there when it comes to the TUR, but all in all, it's, for me, a little above average. Looks really good. I do like the color palette, like I said before, but I'll tell you what, the LR, they always bring it strong on the LR, especially when it's animated. I'm not showing the animated version here, but the LR looks incredible. You got the Piccolo and you have Goku in the background there. I think it's a very, very overall good look, and of course this animation is original to Dokkan, which is really cool. So anyways, dive into the details and do the full breakdown here. The stats are really incredible, right? It's 29,000 in HP, which is extremely high, right? Almost 30,000, which is crazy. At the attack, a little below average, right? You're expecting about 20,000 on LRs, but it's at 19.2. And then defense, you're looking at 12,769. So when you make this a little bit bigger here, expand it, this is a Carnival unit, so it is a 200% lead, and this is running Future Saga. So I wasn't a huge fan of this due to the fact that, we already have one in LRVB, but I guess I'm okay with having another leader here, and this leader really, in my opinion, is the better quote-unquote Future Saga leader because of his defensive mechanics versus VB, but VB still a very good unit. Now, you look at the 12 key super attack, it does greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage to enemy. And then you have the 18 key, massively raises attack and greatly raises defense for one turn and causes mega colossal damage to enemy. So the passive skill, you start off with the entrance animation, which is strong, super strong. Plus 5 the key and reduce damage by 40% for 5 turns. That's one of your stronger ones that you can ever get. Anytime you get damage reduction in percentage for a good amount of turns, in this case 5 turns there, I think any unit would be happy to get that kind of entrance animation buff. On top of that, you do get key plus 3 and attack and defense 158%. You also get key plus 1 and attack and defense 20% up to 100% with each attack performed. So again, very strong. It builds up while this kind of is going to drop off after 5 turns. You have damage reduction received by 20% flat out, no restriction, plus an additional damage reduction or 20%, and launches an additional attack with a high chance of becoming a super attack when 18 key is more. So this is very important here. Once you get 18 key, you're going to get an additional 20% damage reduction on top of the other 20%, and then during your first 5 turns, you're going to have 40%. So you're going to have 80% damage reduction your first 5 turns, which is wild. As long as you get 18 keys, it's fairly easy to do. You think about this, you got plus 5 here, you got the leader skill, you got plus 3 here, and then you build up on this as well. So pretty wild passive already. But on top of that, if you get 20 key or more, you get an additional guaranteed super attack. So that is huge there. So this is also a domain unit. So once you actually activate domain, and in order for you to do so, you just have to wait 5 turns, right? So creates domain city for 5 turns, starting from the 5th turns, from the start of the turn. And then while in domain city, you're able to orb change. So int key spheres to strength key spheres, and then starting character's turn, and performs critical hit when activating the active skill or when key is 24. So when you're in domain, you get your 24 key, which again, I think is still fairly easy to get. You're going to have guaranteed crits, which is just absolutely insane. So on top of that here, you have the opportunity here to, they should have just switched this domain. You have the increased damage received by extreme class enemies and allies 30%. So this is the counterpart to the Zamasu for the Infinite Zamasu. The Infinite Zamasu was super class enemies and allies, and this one is extreme class, and this is way more beneficial due to the fact that current end game content is red zone, and it's mostly extreme class. So huge benefit here. Now on top of that, what you want to do when you actually get into the domain city or domain in the city future rainy. Once that activates here, you should automatically, right, do the active skill, because it massively raises attack temporarily, causes cost damage to enemy, and then it gives you ki +5 and 20% for the rest of the battle. That's absolutely insane right there. So, and again, it's 20%. It multiplies everything. It's actually really, really strong. So once you get there, you're dealing more damage. You are boosting up your ki. You're gonna get 24 like no problem with this ki +5. So I think it's a really, really well built kit. So I think a lot of people are even thinking about putting this unit at top at the #1 spot. It's tough, right? It's tough. It does have a lot of stuff going for it. So the link skills here: Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Dismal Future, Experienced Fighters, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. So really strong link skill here. You know, if you got rid of Dismal Future but you're running Future Saga, it works fine. But I think that's all these other ones are fairly universal. The categories, a lot of categories, or at least good enough. Hybrid Saiyans, Future Saga, Transformation Boost, Goku's Family, Super Saiyans, Cells, Android Cell Saga, Bond of Master Disciple, All Out Struggle, Connected Hope, Entrusted Will, Bond of Parent and Child, and Earthbred Fighters. So it's going to help out a lot of different teams because there's no team restriction, and that's really why this unit is so good, is because you can get this 80% damage reduction for the first 5 turns on any of these categories because there is no restriction, and you have to have a Future Saga category ally or Bond of Parent and Child or something like that on the passive skill. So they built it really, really well. So let's go ahead and look at then the link partners here. You're able to link 6 links with the Spirit Bomb Z unit, and then also the Easy Aid AGL Spirit Bomb Gumku, right? So yeah, unfortunately you're not running that many teams with the Spirit Bomb Z unit, so I think there's only like 3 category teams you're able to run on there, and really none of them work out that great. Maybe Bond of Parent Child, but Bond of Parent Child I'll talk about in the team build. It's very interesting where I'm saying this replaces LRGG, but it can I guess on there. But then you have, speaking of LRGG is a part of the 5 link, a bunch of 5 linked individuals on there. So basically if you have somebody who's Super Saiyan Goku, you're going to link very well. Of course, the new Trunks links here, the Goku Gohan, of course AGL Gohan, the EZA version there. So I think a lot of good options that you can run even at 5 links, and then there's a ton of other ones in 4 links as well. But I think LRGs is a great option, or the new Trunks. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk about the team builds and how I would structure the team, because remember, this is just a single category in Future Saga. So when you have the options here, you're primarily running superclass units because of the domain, right? Once it hits domain, extreme class enemies are going to have they're going to take 30% more damage. So you don't want that to happen unless you just got a crazy OP unit on the extreme side on Future Saga, which there might be. We'll talk about those in just one second. But when it comes to 200% super here, you have a couple different options. I would say you can run, for example, you can run LRVB and Gohan together. You can run LR Gohan or Future Gohan and Future Trunks together. They link well. They're partnered up here. Or you can kind of switch things up and say, you know what? I think actually the best person to run is the EZA Future Gohan base that then transforms into Super Saiyan Gohan, which then they link up extremely well. But they support each other. So huge benefit there in having that buff there. But since some of these other units on here isn't Bond of Master Disciple, then it doesn't work all that great. But then really the other option, I'd say what most people are going to probably run here, is a Gohan LRVB and then LRGG with Gohan, right? And then you can just float Trunks if you want to. Or if you don't have LRVB, you can just run the Trunks here as well as a main rotation. But you can see something like this as the team. Again, you can have some other options here. You can still run the Gohan on this team, the EZA Int base form future Gohan, you're just not going to support LRVB, unfortunately, right? And again, you do have some other alts on the bottom there you can just plug in if you don't have certain units. And I'd say Mai is going to be the best support here for the Future Saga category leader. So that's an option, right? These are some of the options that you can run when it comes to the rotations there. Now, one of the things I think it's mostly smart is to run something like this, where you are able to have 2 support units in the EZA Future Gohan base, and then transforms into Super Saiyan Gohan, and then Mai, which is all superclass allies, and then you're running on the main rotation Bond and Master Disciple, which in this case would be a Gohan, Future Trunks, and then LRGG and Future Gohan, right? So I think this is a very, very strong rotation. You can plug and play whoever that third floater you want as a non-support, or you can even run triple support and go ahead and bring Zamasu, Gowasu on the triple support here, and you can support everybody on the board. But and that would be, when you do that, a full Bonamaster Disciple team. Oh, actually, that wouldn't be, because Mai is not a Bonamaster Disciple. But yeah, you can do a triple here. But then if you want to run a full Bonamaster Disciple team, this is probably what's going to look like. I would say not as strong as with the Maya support and VB on there, but you do have options that you can choose, that you can run. So for example, if you were to do something like this, you can also then do hybrid Saiyans. You can run a full hybrid Saiyans team, and then you can run the EZA physical Future Gohan, because if you're going to be running this main rotation there, then of course it won't block the link there. So, but anyway, the last thing I want to talk about is, like, well, you don't have any extreme class units on here, and that's a reason why, because this is a domain unit here. You really don't want to run extreme class units. These are some options that you can run. Now, here's the thing. If you have, for example, Infinite Zamasu, or just you need an AGL unit on your team, and you want to run Merzumasu or EZA Zamasu on there, it might still be okay with 30% more damage, but again, it's really going to hamstring your team, so you really want to stick to super class units on here. So I think this is probably the team that feels the best, or this one here, right? One of the two. Maybe this one. I'll probably run this one mostly with this unit, and yeah, it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, that is my full breakdown with some fun little team builds. Hopefully that helps out. I don't know when I'm going to do the Trunks one, having difficulty pulling that unit, but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.